Introduction to REST APIs. So welcome to our lecture on REST APIs. We'll start by refreshing our knowledge of HTTP and HTTPS, which are essential for understanding REST APIs. So an API, or Application Programming Interface, serves as a gateway to backend data, enabling easy access and modification. REST, which stands for Representational State Transfer, is a popular architectural style for designing APIs due to its simplicity and efficiency in development. Let's delve into what makes an API RESTful and why it's a favorable choice for developers. Characteristics of RESTful APIs. So RESTful APIs are characterized by certain key constraints. First, they use a client-server architecture. This way, it separates the server that provides resources from the client that consumes them. Second, they are also stateless. It means that the server does not retain any state of the API client. Third, cacheability. Cacheability, what it does is it allows responses to be stored. And this is really important if you're looking to reduce server load. And REST APIs are layered. By having REST API layered, you allow the system architecture to be split into multiple parts, multiple layers. And they also have to provide a uniform interface for resource access. And optionally, it's possible to include code on demand for additional functionality. So client-server architecture in REST. So in RESTful API, the client-server architecture is fundamental. This separation of concern allows the client and server to evolve independently. So the server is responsible for serving resources, while the client is tasked with consuming these resources. This separation simplifies the roles and improves scalability. Stateless nature of REST APIs. REST APIs are stateless. What we mean by REST APIs being stateless is that the server does not store any state about the client making the request. This means that each request from the client to server must contain all the necessary information to understand and process the request. This statelessness is really, really important because this allows APIs to be not only efficient, but also scalable. Cacheability and REST. So caching is definitely another key aspect of RESTful APIs. When a response is cacheable, what we mean by this is that these responses can be stored by the client or intermediary system. That means any subsequent request that is made don't have to be served from the server. Instead, it can be served from the cache. So by kind of reducing the load on the server, we can improve performance of the server significantly. Layer system. A layer system allows a REST API architecture to be split into separate layers. So You can separate layer into firewalls, load balancers, web servers, and database. And by having this decoupling, we offer great flexibility. The reason why this allows flexibility is because these layers can be added or removed without affecting the others. So this enhances maintainability and scalability greatly. And uniform interface. So the uniform interface constraint of REST API ensures a standardized way of accessing resources. So each resource should have a unique URL, and interactions with these resources should follow a consistent pattern. So this representations of resources, they are these days in JSON format, but they can also be in XML format. They should follow a standard structure. Code on demand. This is an optional constraint of REST. What this does is this allows the server to extend the functionality of the client by transmitting executable code. What we mean by this is, to give you an example, say we have an API that might deliver JavaScript code that can be executed on the client side. So this provides additional features or behaviors. So understanding resources and REST APIs. Basically, resources are at the core of every REST API. It is crucial to understand how APIs represent and handle different resource types. So for instance, say we have a restaurant app. Resources might include orders, customer details, or menu items, and each resource type is accessed and manipulated through specific API endpoints. Thank you for listening.